Hello, friends of the Angel Energy Room. So today's Monday, Angel Message Monday, and I had pulled a card this morning. And when I went to sit down to type out like a channel message for the card, I started getting all this information about the Archangel because this is a card about Archangel Azrael. And so I just felt this nudge to start talking about him. I feel like I can't really channel a message yet until I talk to you a little bit about Archangel Azrael and let you know a little bit about him. So I'm going to talk a little bit about him. I've already called his energy in to blend with me so that I can channel the messages that he would like me to share today for you for this week ahead. Um, yeah, so the card is change and transition. And it's so interesting, so wild that I pulled this card on the spring equinox, that tomorrow is the first official day of spring. And this is the card of transition, of change. And in this morning's live with Lori, we were talking about the change in energy which is how we felt this shift already. And so he's coming forward to support us with some changes that are happening in our life right now. So, a little bit about him. So, I just first want to say that this is an oracle card from Kyle Gray's Angel Prayers Oracle deck. And Kyle Gray, while he was creating this deck, he meditated with every single archangel, like the top 12, I think he included the top 12 archangels. And however he saw the angels, he hired a artist to draw up paint to like create the visuals for these cards. And so this is how Kyle Gray sees this angel. Now I want to just say that angels and archangels are going to come to us and appear to us in a very personal way. So this may be how Kyle Gray sees Archangel Azrael. This may not be how you see Archangel Azrael. We all are going to see the angels very, very differently. So some cards in this deck, I'm like, yeah, that kind of like, I feel like I could resonate with that photo, and some photos I don't. I do think it's a gorgeous photo. It is beautiful in the colors and everything. And like how I see angels and archangels, I mean, they're just an energy, right? Like they're just literally an energy. So they'll come to us like however we feel comfortable seeing them. So, if you have the belief that angels look like these tall beings with big wings, then if an angel comes to you, say right in front of your eyes, or in your dreams, or while you're daydreaming, or while you're meditating, then they'll most likely appear to you in that way because that's how you believe them to be, or you see them or visualize them. But not all the time. Sometimes they come in differently too. It depends, but it's going to be in a way that's very comfortable for you. Um, and so for me, angels come through more as like an energy. I don't see like an actual face, but I'll feel them. So especially with angels, I'll feel their presence. And the archangel actually will show me pictures from these cards. Like Archangel Haniel came through in an Instagram live I did with Lori, and I knew it was for sure her because she showed me the image that Kyle Gray has on his card. I don't ever see her like that, but I was like channeling so many different messages in that live that I think she probably knew that I don't know, it would have been just easier for her to show me through that visual. So it's very interesting. But I usually see angels, yeah, I'll feel their energy. Like if I feel a lot of emotion, and lots of like feminine energy, it'll be Archangel Haniel. For Azrael, I'll feel him. It's very subtle, very gentle. But I'll get to him in a minute. But usually I'll see like colors. So Archangel Michael will come to me in his beautiful, like electric blue, neon blue kind of color with a very protective energy. Archangel Raphael, who's the Archangel of Healing, will come to me with this beautiful dark forest green, and just like I'll feel the healing energy. So archangels will come to us in whatever form that we feel comfortable in. So it's really cool to see how Kyle Gray sees all the angels, and it's just it's a gorgeous. All his decks are gorgeous, and this one's really really beautiful. So Archangel Azrael here has like the red aura around him, and now I feel him like he's known to have like a dark red color. He's associated with the dark red color. Um, but I see like a lot of that kind of purple kind of hues. I feel like I see a little bit more of that when I connect in with his energy. He's very soft energy, very like subtle. Like if he were to have, he told me earlier, if he were to be like a human and have a voice, he'd have like a very soft spoken voice, very gentle, very nurturing. Yeah, so cool. And archangels, all angels are oh, I can't think of the word now. Um, they can just be like anywhere, like numerous places in at the same time. So Archangel Azrael may be with me right here, right now, supporting me in bringing these messages through. And he will also be like thousands of with helping supporting thousands of other people at the same time, like right now. He's multidimensional. That's the name. When I say those are my kids in the background, it's spring break, so kids are home. It is more in the evening, but I really wanted to get this done, quickly record this because I feel like I got lots to say about this card, and it's going to take me forever to try to like narrow down just information, just a message without explaining who Archangel Azrael is. Okay, so I will, so yeah, so okay, you just tuning into his energy a little bit more. So he is the angel of transition, of change. His name, Azrael, means he who helps God. He is known to be the angel of death. Now, it's not a bad, like dark thing when I say the angel of death. What I mean is that he's there for each and every one of us when we pass over. He supports us to cross over to the other side. He's with people who are dying, who are about to. He just supports the process, like the transition from here to the other side, and it's just his loving, soft, nurturing energy. It's like a big warm hug. His energy is very peaceful. He helps make that transition. So I mean, the transition is peaceful. The minute we cross over, but he's just there just to support. And he's there alongside your loved ones, your animals, your spirit team, but he's there, and that's his job, and that's his role that he plays, as an archangel. And not only is he the angel of death, well, okay, so the angel of death, yes, he helps us cross over and transition from here to the other side, but death can also mean like the end of something. So he's there for us when we are going through something, when something ends in our life, and like there's a new beginning of something. So like death represents the ending of something and the beginning of something new. I mean, it can be. And so um, when we are going through a big change in our life, we can call upon him to support us through a big transition, through a big change. And right now we're going through the change of seasons. And right now, collectively, I feel like a lot of people are going through a lot of changes and a lot of transitions. And he's just coming forward, and I'll kind of like bring in messages from him and then also talk about him at the same time because he's here. So okay. So he comes forward, um, the soft energy, just wanting just like a shoulder, he puts his hand on my shoulder, like he's just a shoulder to cry on. He's just like that warm embrace that when you're feeling just kind of like out of sorts, like when there's a big change going on, it can be really overwhelming, and it can be sad, and it can be all the feels. He says he feels that with you. Oh, yeah. Um, yeah. So, okay. I'm just going to tune into this a little bit. So he can help us leave behind something that needs to end. Mm-mm. And that we need to let go in order for us to step into a new beginning. Now, okay, so mhm. So leaving something behind, he says, like, it's not just the end of something doesn't have to end, but it's a change. It's a change from what was to what is now. And change is for your highest good. Like what the change and the transition that you're going through right now in your life is for your highest good, is for your highest path. And when we're right in the thick of it, it's so hard for us to see that, right? But he's coming forward with that message that, like, there's this new beginning right before us. I see it. He showed me right before us. Um, and so he's helping us walk through the transition and the challenges to get to that new beginning. And he's just showing me like a ocean, like the line where like the ocean meets the sky and the sun. And he's just like that sun, that bright warmth, like that beauty that's before us. And he's walking with us. He's walking with you right now. He's walking with us this week. This week is like, that shift of like we're in that transition right now. We're shifting. There's going to be an up leveling in your life right now. There's going to be a shift. Things are being kind of left to where they were, and we're moving forward without some things and moving forward like in our own power. And he's helping us with that right now, he says. Mhm. So we can call upon him. He's making me feel out of breath too, because when I do that, there's healing. So just know that for anyone watching this, that you are being sent healing energy from him, and no matter what you're going through right now, um, and this week too, he comes in with such a subtle energy, and it's almost like I don't even know how to explain it, but he's just so subtle and soft. He's like a big warm teddy bear. Yeah. So you can call upon him at any time when you're going through any kind of change in your life. And he'll just be there. His subtle, beautiful, soft energy is going to be there just to support you. And just trust that when you call upon Archangel Azrael, that he will be there the minute you call, the second you call upon him. His energy is right there, and he's just there. As I say that again, he places his hand on my shoulder to let me know like that he'll have your hand on his hand on your shoulder. Okay. So he can also, yeah. So he also is a great archangel to call upon. As I start to lose my voice now, there's a lot of healing. He's sending me healing too. He's like, look at the throat chakra. If you watch the teletalks, I've had some stuff going on with the throat chakra. Okay, I'm gonna take a deep breath here. So he can support us with grief when we're going through grief. He can support us through that, and that's just as simple as just the feeling of comfort, the feeling of not being alone, the feeling of just like I see him like just picking us, like if you're on the floor, just so like surrendered and just like so in your grief. I can see him, he just kind of picks us up off the floor and holds us in his arms. That's like the visual that he shows me. Like, will he actually do that? No, right? But it's the support, it's the energy. It's really, really beautiful, very, very, very supportive. um yeah, he's a very loving, very sweet archangel. Yeah, so if you see on his chest there's a phoenix there. He's like the phoenix of the angels. Like he helps us rise from the ashes when we are in our deepest grief, our deepest sadness. He helps us, like again, when I saw him lifting someone off the floor and just holding them in his arms, he lifts us up from the ashes. He helps us through the grief process. Grief is a life, I believe it's a lifelong thing. We're always gonna have that, like, be connected to the grief of losing someone that we love. but it's like time helps with it, but it's still gonna always kind of part of it will always be with us. So he helps, he's like that phoenix. I think the phoenix on his chest. Yeah. So so beautiful. Okay, I'm just gonna take a look at my notes here. So take a couple more. I wrote down a couple more things about him. Yeah. Oh yeah. So the last thing I want to say is that him being the archangel of transition, of change, he supports mediums with connecting to people on the other side, to souls on the other side. So he works with counselors, like grief counselors and just counselors in general, because he's such a supportive, like he's like a counselor, like, and it makes sense when I say that. It's just like, oh yeah, like that soft voice, kind of like, like just very attentive, very like nurturing, very like, yeah, yeah, I haven't worked with much with him, but yeah, his energy is just so so sweet. Um, mhm. And yeah, he's like a natural counselor. He's just so sweet. Just want to see if there's anything else looking at the picture I can bring about bring through from him. I think that's all I had written down for my notes. Yeah. So yeah, and that he can help us really get from like the darkest of the darkest places in our life and really come to a space of light. Like he almost like shines the light when we're in such a dark space. And so he's just again just a beautiful angel to connect to when you're grieving, when if you have a loved one who is really ill or who's like going to pass away, you know it's going to happen. You can call Archangel Azrael forward to just bring them the support and just that peaceful energy. Um, I mean, even if we don't call him in, he'll be there. Like I can see him just being around all the bedsides, like everywhere, like with people who are about to transition over, and he just sits there so proudly in like honor of the person's life, and just like fills the room with like this beautiful peaceful energy, like just peace, peace, peace. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna leave it at that. Otherwise I might get emotional. He's really, the visuals he's showing me are really beautiful. Okay, so I'm gonna channel a message from him. All right, Archangel Azrael. So this week is a week of change and transition. He says like we've been going through it the past few weeks, but there's going to be like a turning point this week where we're really going to feel that shift. And I mean, yeah, it's the first day of spring tomorrow. We're going to see the shifts, right? But he's talking about like in your personal life too. So again, he's walking beside us, with us. He said hand in hand, supporting all of us to like let go of what, we need to leave behind us. And again, what we're leaving behind us doesn't, it's not like that we're fully and something's fully ending. It just means that there's a transition. It's just going to be a bit different. And again, the transitions that are happening this week are for your highest good. They're not happening to you, they're happening for your highest good. And again, showing me that beautiful sunset along the ocean, just like the light and the beauty that we have before us. And he's supporting us through this. So, okay. So what else does he want to say here? If you feel like you don't know where to turn, or you're feeling stuck, or you're feeling frustrated, I feel like those feelings might pop on up this week about any situation that's happening in your life right now. Just know that you can call upon him and just say, thank you, Archangel Azrael, for coming forward and supporting me right now in my life. It can be as simple as that. Or you can, I always talk about inviting the angels in, like thanking them for coming in, like they've already supported you. It's just like talking to them in that level of gratitude, that higher vibration. It just connects, like almost like, I don't know, I just feel like it matches to their energy really, really well. Um, and however you want to, whatever you need help with, he's like, I'm here. I have you. Again, he shows me how he holds us all up in his arms, like his warmth on his chest. It's just like a child being held from their mother or from their parent. It's so beautiful. He's not really want to get into details, just that change is inevitable. He's saying change, although it can be very, very difficult, it can also be really good. Like, let's look at the good things about some transitions and changes in your life right now. What are the good things he's asking that are going to come from this? And it may be hard to see that, he's saying, but he's like, dream a little bit. So what do you see before you right now once you've gone through this change? What's standing before you? What's in that sunset? Or what are your desires right now? I feel like your desires have something to do with what's happening right now. I also feel like there's a sense of independence that comes with this change. I mean, so this will relate to each and every one of us so differently. Um, but he's encouraging all of us to kind of just stand in our power, to um, to give ourselves the grace. Mhm. And um, yeah. And he says, like, like you're doing it. You're on your path. Like, do you feel that? Do you feel where you are in your life right now? When you think about where you are in your life, how does that make you feel? So what comes to your mind right now that's maybe a little bit frustrating or a little bit like are ideas coming to your mind like, well, yeah, I kind of want this to change. I wish that I could do this. Like when you think about your desires, what's it going to take for that to come to fruition, right? And he says, like, it's all in divine, there's a divine sacred plan. It's all in good timing, divine timing. You have the support, you have the guidance. He's like, but you have yourself. Like, look at you, look how powerful you are. Look how amazing you are. You're here living this beautiful life. You have so much before you. And and he's just like giving all of us this really uplifting energy this week and like holding us up, like really elevating our energy and saying like I have you and like look at you, like here you are right now and we're shifting, going through this transition, and what's going to come from this is going to be like wide open spaces, like a lot of the clutter is being left behind us, a lot of like a little bit of the blockages are being left. So if there's anything that you feel right now that you just want to let go of as we move through this week, let it go. Just say out loud, like, I release such and such. I release this person. I release this situation. I release this feeling. I don't want to feel like this anymore. So he's helping us. He's helping you with this transition right now. So yeah, I think I'm going to leave it at that. I also don't want to have this video too long. But yes, so this is Archangel Azrael. If you have any questions, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Let me know I'd love to know your thoughts on this card, on him. Have you ever connected with Archangel Azrael? And again, like angels are like they're not female male, like they're just an energy. So they'll come to us with a certain energy. So I see him as, like, I say him because he comes to me like and he's a male in this photo, but he also comes to me in this more like in a male energy, I'll just say. So but he could come to you in a more female energy. And then they're going to connect to each and every one of us so differently. There's not just one way to connect to angels. I just wanted to let you know. That's all. I just want to make that clear. So let me know if you have any questions. I'd love to know if you were connected with Archangel Azrael, if any of this resonated. Yeah, I'd love to hear any of your thoughts. So again, this is Archangel Azrael. coming forward this week with the message that he is supporting us. He's with us through this change. He's excited. As I say that, he's really excited too. He says, like, just look at the sunset. Like, he showed me the picture. Like, he keeps putting this vision in my mind of like the ocean. And then, like, just where the ocean meets the sky, and just like the beautiful sun and all the colors, like that kind of like red, more like an orangey red color in the sky. Um, and just like the beauty of that, he's like, just like that's what you have in front of you. Like when you're in the thick of it, if you're in the thick of it right now, or you're going to be, or you just were, just know that what's before you is like wide open space. This is beautiful skyline that is all for you. The beauty is all for you. This world, he's saying, is all for you to live however you want. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave it at that. All right. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your Monday and a fabulous week. And I look forward to pulling another card next week.